Today we are going to be doing a meditational session with the spirits, with our guides, with our ancient spirits of our ancestors, the creator of heaven and earth, making these calls a powerful medium to read the truth and hidden secrets for each and every one of us. This is going to be a oneness meditation, oneness with all in one and one in all. Calling on to the ancient spirits of our ancestors, calling on to the spirits of our forest, of the oceans, of the wind, fire, and earth, calling on to the energies of the universe. Let us start by looking into the elements. Dear spirits, I welcome all of you here, all of the spirits and the guides, the angels, the creator of heaven and earth. I welcome all of you to the spiritual altar to help us channelize this reading for the collective, for the universe. I summon the energies of the earth, both upper and the lower worlds. What is the element, spirit? What is the overall universal element at this time? Universal guiding element at this time for all. The element for all. The natural element. The energy for the collective. Something that we would all be meditating on, spirit. What is the message for all? Thank you. We have the lake. We have the lake card here. Let's look into the nature's message. Spirits, please guide. What is the natural element at this time that we must focus on? The message from the nature's deck. Our element is the lake. For the collective, for the conscious, connecting with the higher consciousness of the lake. What is the message, spirit? We have air. So we have lake and we have air. Air. Let us look into the place, the places, connecting with the places or the collective. The sea. Let's divide the world into lower and upper section, the upper worlds and the lower worlds. What does the lower world look like, spirit? In terms of places, what does the lower world looks like? What does the lower world looks like? The lower realm. The lower realm, the lower frequencies where there are. Arena, there's competitions in the lower world. People are competing with each other, going through challenges. Competitive environment in the lower world. Let's look into the middle world. What does the middle world looks like, Spirit? What does the middle world look like? Connecting with the middle world. Connecting with the middle world. Thank you, Spirit. The middle world looks like a jail. Incarnation, justice, and punishment. Let's look into the higher world. What does the higher world look like, Spirit? The higher realms, the energy of the higher realms in terms of places. What does it look like for the higher realm? The higher realm has the place. The higher realms have the energies of government, building, public services. Okay. So we have the lower world with competitions, the middle world where there's incarnation, prison. A lot of us could be feeling stuck. A lot of us could be going through severe transformations where we are receiving our justice and punishment. Dealing with a karma. The upper world with the government building, public services, administrative agencies. So this is more like an energy where the upper worlds are working in a way to bring services to the people, to bring certain kind of services. All right, let's look into the energies now. Let's look into the energies now. Show me the energy of the lower realm, Spirit, the lower world. With the Arena card, what is the kind of energy that we see in the lower world? What is going on in the lower realm? Overload, people are burdened, carrying excessive workload, responsibilities, stress, exhaustion, because of all the competitions that they're going through, the pressure that there is. Let's look into the middle world, Spirit. What does the middle world look like with the jail card being here? What does the middle world look like? Show me the energy of the middle world. The energy of the middle world. The energy of the middle world. Okay. So these are the people that have just, these are the people that are just coming out of this lower world, and it seems like the lower world has affected the people in the middle world, which is why we see Two of Wands card here, self-expression in reversed. And this only shows that, yes, this is a stagnant period. It's where people are feeling very stagnant. They're feeling very stuck, going through a state of incarnation. Renewal, incarnation, learning. Let's look into the upper world. What is happening in the upper world? The energy of the upper world, Spirit. The energy of the upper world. With the government building, what is the kind of energy here in the upper world? The upper world, coming from the middle world towards the upper world, we see Four of Wands where there is party, dancing, renewal, excitement. So people that have made it to the upper worlds, they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves after they go through these other two stages. So it's more like different stages that we see here happening. So if you are still in the lower realm, it means you're still going through the state of competitions, feeling all burnt out, excessive work, and then going towards this incarnation where there would be a period of stagnation, where you may come to a state of impasse, which is like you can't move any further. There's you feel like you have reached a dead end, and when you reach this place of dead end, which we see in the middle world, we see that you are in a state of incarnation. So the theme of the reading here is we have lake and we have air, which we are going to look into it. Let's look into the purpose. What is the purpose of these different worlds coming together? The lower, the middle, and the upper realm. What is the purpose? What is the sole purpose? To go from here to here, what is the sole purpose? What is the sole purpose, Spirit? What is the sole purpose? What are we supposed to learn from all of this? From these intense changes and shifts that we see here. From a lower energy transmuting into the upper world, learning our lessons, incarnating, evolving ourselves. What is the purpose here? What is the sole purpose here, Spirit? What is the sole purpose that we must focus on here or meditate on as we now see where the world is, how the world is shifting, how the energies are shifting? What is it that we must all focus on, Spirit? What is it that we must all focus on here? What is the sole purpose of this transformation? What is the sole purpose, Spirit? Something that we are going to be meditating on here. What is the sole purpose that we see here happening? Well, okay. So we have plenty of cards here that I have got, Spirit has offered. Here we have the rotation, which has the spider. It looks like a cycle that we are all stuck in. Okay, just put it over here. The next we see is the moon, the Luna, the cycles. The spider looks like more like a devil energy to me, where people could be trapped in a society, belief systems. The moon going through the cycles from the darkness to the light. Benevolent guide. We have the benevolent guide here that looks like receiving the guidance, the support. Sublimation. These are a lot of cards here. Okay. I have like a very small table, so I don't really have a lot of space. So let's just put these cards on top of each other. Okay, so we have the wedding here. Very interesting. We have the Mercury. We have the autumn, the season. And we have the tin. Okay. So let's see what is the energy here. So we're going to start from here. Rotation. Rotation is the great alchemical operation of the wheel through its circularity. It indicates that work performed again and again and again produces results. It reminds us that our efforts are cumulative, not singular. Nor is the work ever fixed or finished. Rather, the alchemist rises each day to tend to the laboratory, to weave their work into the world. It is the epitome of the alchemical axiom. This operation is expressed through images of the circle, the spiral, and the wheel by its shape, non-hierarchical shape. We are tossed back into the spin just when we thought we had figured it all out. Though this stage can be frustrating and cause a fair amount of restlessness, it is at the heart of its all spiritual practices. So I could see that the arena where we see this the burden falling back and forth into the same sort of cycle, where we think we have reached something and then we are starting to go back, spin back again. That spin is happening where we are consistently doing the work, and it could be frustrating to go through this state of burden, overburden, being burnt out. Like, okay, so we see here how this circle goes, right? The cycle here that we, the people from the lower realm are stuck in, especially if we are, burdening ourselves. So we could see that the work that we are putting, it's so it's like we start from point A and we come back to point A, and then we start off again. So yes, that could be pretty frustrating, but then the efforts will definitely pay off. The next card that we have is the Moon card. Understanding the cycles. Like I said, this is more like a cycle here that I see. Then we have the Moon card. So the moon represents the mother of all mysteries once a month. It slips into the full spotlight and then quietly disappears, only to initiate the cycle again, gifting us with the message of impermanence. The moon reminds us we are in constant transition, a continual process of letting go. It is the yin principle, one of listening rather than speaking. This card may indicate a time of rest and restoration. So we see that once we come out of this state, we fall into the resting state. After we are excessively burnt out, then we take rest, And it's very similar to how the moon works, goes through the cycle of where there's light and then goes back into darkness and then comes back into light. Dreams and memories may be especially vivid. The gates to the liminal realm have opened. The alchemist's task is to be receptive to his message. So it's more like a receptive state. The yin energy is of the feminine energy. You may start to feel very intuitive, receiving consciousness, understanding, um, listening more rather than speaking. Okay, so mystery, receptivity, and intuition. So once we begin to rest, we go into the state of receptivity. So it's more like, going for this, coming from this masculine energy, extreme, distorted masculine energy, where you're consistently working, not really giving yourself much time to rest. Extreme amount of competitions is what's happening. So the people that are in this lower realm are feeling like the work is endless. There's endless, countless tasks for them. Feeling pretty exhausted because of that. And then remember that shift is taking place between each and every card that I'm seeing here. These are all the energies. Okay, so we're saying that there will be a shift here, there will be a shift here, there will be a shift here, and then here, right? So we got to understand that shift that is taking place here. So after we go through excessive workload, then we move towards this rest period. Period of rest. Period of receptivity. And after that, we have this the benevolent guide. It does look like a spirit guide to me. See what this is, what the message says. Okay. Oh, how easy it is to doubt the presence of the spirit. Spirit is rector. The alchemist, fallen into a moment of forgetfulness, feels alone in the laboratory and begins to doubt their work. Remember, you may forget the work that you put in, the effort that you put in. Where do I turn for guidance? All the while, the benevolent guide hovers close, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be heard amidst the noise of the world. It whispers words of kindness and encouragement into the ears of the alchemist. So this is where the spirit guide shows up, when we get into that state of receptivity, like, hey, you've done the good work, this guidance, this is what you need to do now. That benevolent presence is constant, not conditional. It says now is not the time for struggle or fear. Soften into the gentle humming of the wise bee. You cannot make a wrong choice. When the spiritus rector is near. So the wise bee is more like a spiritual guide. When you rest, when you come from this place, you may feel very burnt out. Like, why is it that I'm consistently working, and then I start off again, and then I'm so burnt out that I have nothing else to do but to surrender to rest and receptivity. And when you rest, the spirit guide appears and it tells you that, you know what, it's time to rest. Let go of the fear. You've done the work. You're going to be served. Okay. The next one that we have is sublimation. Let's see. Okay. According to the sublimation, it says sublimation is a great alchemical operation of air. Now remember, we had the air energy here, if you guys could see the element of air. So here's the sublimation part coming in. And I think the lake has to do with rest and receptivity. But let's look into the Let's see what role does air play here? The element of air. What kind of role does it play when it comes to sublimation? Okay, so it occurs when there's enough heat to change a solid substance into a gas, causing it to rise up and away. Therefore, when sublimation is present, sorry, that was sublimation. Therefore, when sublimation is present, there is an aspect of celebrated elevation of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective. Birds in flight, mountain peaks, ladders, and balloons, all, all are sublimation images. As with all the operations, sublimation has a shadow potential. Through accession, there is a rise of separating from others, of sensing oneself higher. Remember that before that, the spirit guide shows up. And when the wise one shows up, that intuitive spirit guide that guides like, hey, you need to transform, you need to arise, it's time for a session. That's when the sublimation part comes into play. And what it really does is it separates us from all of this, right? All of this that we're seeing, all of this that we have been, greatly involving ourselves in. Then sublimation is more like rising, is vibrating at a higher base. That, remember that we're looking into the lower realm and the middle and the upper. So we're talking about how the energy shifts here, how the energy is going to shift. The risk is particularly great in spiritual traditions that offers a linear model of achievement. The divine alchemist rises humbly and supports the upliftment of others, always in touch with the cycle of humanity. Service is the natural balance. Remember, the service card was here too. Look at that. Service, public services that we see. This is like serving the humanity. Serving the humanity. Public services, right? And here it's talking about exactly that. Upliftment of others, uplifting. Okay, this air element is what the air element is going to do is it's going to uplift everybody. Everybody to the higher base. Vibration, okay? Changing vibration. And yeah, providing services. Providing service of accession, upliftment. The energy of air, the element of air. Okay. The next thing that we see is reddening. Let's understand what happens after that. So this is more like a pathway, right? This is more like, once you know the pathway, it becomes easy for you to transmute. It becomes easy to know how you are going to ascend from lower energy to the higher realm. And how you're going to get from this state to this state. So next we have the reddening. And of course, we are going to be meditating once we get the messages clear. So the reddening card talks about indication of a full expression of the work. Everything is alive. The heart pumps, the cells vibrate, the cells celebrate, and the blood sings its way through the body. What was dormant has been awakened. Remember, this is where everything was dormant, right? When it comes to, where's that jail card? The jail card, right? Here is the, remember that from the lower realm, we moved towards this towards this middle realm where there was this incarnation, everything being all stuck and stagnant. So this is what it's talking about, that what was once considered dormant, right? What was once considered stagnant is now been awakened. What was once considered base is now noble. Aches and pains are integrated. Awakening, right? This is where the awakening is happening through this air element here. Incarnation, which really talks about, how the pains, and like, think about the jail. How do people feel when they are in jail? They go through excessive pain, stagnation. They feel that there's no path, that like all the roads are blocked for them. So this is where these pains are integrated. Shadows are acknowledged and interwoven. When the reddening card appears, it signifies health, power, a climaxing of the work that we put in. There's going to be a climax of that work, so everybody's going to get their justice. The laboratory is no longer separate from the alchemist, from the work, but the three are now one. But the three are now one. Remember, we talked about this. We talked about the oneness. Like, how do we get into the state of oneness? From lower realm to the higher realm, remember, the energy is of oneness. So we could be shifting, transforming, changing, going through stuff, but eventually there is going to be one and all in one, which is a big, big energy that we will see. All right, so three are now one. What occurs in the body is reflected in the world and vice versa. What occurs in the body, what we go through in our body. So we go through the state of extreme burnt out, and then a phase comes in our life where we could feel that, oh my God, there's nothing happening. We have to rest. We all feel stagnant, fearful, have no idea what's going on. And what happens is all of these shadows that comes from the fear, um, the hurt and the pain, all of those things are being um, are going through the phase of accession, all right? And sublimation takes place through the air element, where all of these things are vibrating. When we rest, what happens is we fall into the state of alignment with ourselves, especially when the spirit God shows up with the wise bee, that intuition, receptivity, and it teaches us that, there's all these services that are being provided to you. This is all happening for you. This is not happening against you. This is all for you. And the work that you have done, it will provide you with a sense of justice. Don't worry. Just take rest, because you will be served in the end. So what occurs in the body is reflected in the world and vice versa. Through the process of reddening, we move out of the head and into the physical body. More specifically, we reach the heart. It is there the alchemist finds the sacred ingredients of power and kindness. So this is where we would be learning finally how to be kind to ourselves and how to be kind to other people. This is is something that will take place after we go through this entire process, this shift, the breakdown of the shifts. All right, so there will be a sense of oneness, kindness, being kind towards everyone else. The next card that we have is Mercury. So let me quickly look into the energy of Mercury here. Okay, so Mercury says, everything and anything is possible. The energy is transfixing and seductive, just like the metal itself. Since this planet rules commerce and communication, it's likely there are deals, contracts, and calls being exchanged that will spin you into a world of mercurial wonder. Mercurial wonder. Don't rush big decisions or get caught in the mesmerizing energy. Rather, pay particular attention to the precise words that are being spoken and written. So there will be a lot of this magical kind of communications happening. Everybody coming from a place of kindness, like, hey, we learned this, we went through this. All of this energy. Like, just imagine. I can't even imagine how beautiful that is going to be when we finally come through this, entire process of awakenment, and just look into it, right? What we begin from and where we come, when we incarnate. Definitely there's going to be a lot of talks about it. Conversations, which is like ideas, right? New ideas, intellectual, like, hey, we should do this and that. So, again, it says rather pay particular attention to the precise words that are being spoken and written. There may be a trick underway, maybe not. No one is sure yet. It is said that the energy of the Mercury is found in the pinky finger and that its ally color is green. Enjoy your time in this emerald hall of mirrors. Just don't sign your name on the dotted line until what is liquid becomes solid, until clear words are expressed by an honest tongue. Right? So it talks about trickery. It talks about what I'm feeling is that okay, so this communication could be a little bit trickery because some people may get very honest about things because remember there's a lesson that we are going to learn, right? The lesson is that our body needs rest, that our body needs to go through certain things. We need that kind of time. So in the world, we may, when we come across people, we may trick each other into, just trying to communicate in a certain way. Maybe tricking through, giving excuses for like, okay, I need some space for myself. I am not feeling well. Some kind of excuse, like to be like this may feel tricky. This may feel like, oh, we don't know what this person wants, like or is this person ghosting me, is this person like trying to get away from me, is this person breaking up with me, those kind of things. Because remember, it like some people will be very honest about the shift, or some people may not be honest about the shift. They may come, like, because there will be a sense of fear there that maybe the world is not going to accept the truth that we have seen or we have experienced. So the Mercury energy is more about, when it comes to communication, we may still be a little fearful when it comes to being very honest about our needs. Okay, it's like, okay, I know that we are going to be kind and everything, when it comes to this reddening energy, this oneness, but then when it comes to Mercury, there will be, trickery, like, I don't know how, but yes, that, the communication we need to focus on here and not just get wrapped up in all kinds of communication. Just make sure that use your five senses. I always say to people that when you don't understand, or when you can't trust the words, trust the body language. Use, because we do have intuition, and remember that is the process that we're going to go through, learning how to see, learning how to hear, the words that are unsaid. So focusing on that would be really, really helpful to get a clear message when people are speaking, when this communication is happening. All right, so the next one that we have here is the autumn. Okay. Let's see what autumn has to offer. So the autumn message is that the autumn is it is the symbol of culmination, harvesting, and resolution. The story of our year finds closure, and we begin to look towards the horizons of the next one. It is likely this card will appear as an indicator of efforts culminating, of hard work paying off. Remember when I talked about how the hard work that you put in, it will pay off. Just something that the wise bee is going to tell you. The wise bee is the spirit guide here. Um, a fruit hanging low for the taking, gratitude, and um, are the spirit of the season, so share the wealth of your fortune. Looking back, you realize many hands and hearts have helped you along. Many hands and hearts, many ships have brought you to this point where you are going to be harvesting the fruits of your labor. Holding tight to our bounty won't do you any good. Holding high to your bounty won't do you any good. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world. So whatever you have learned here from this entire process, you would be giving back. It's not just going to be like, hey, this is my fruit of the labor. Eventually, people will start teaching other people, like, this is what you need to do if you want to receive that gift of your labor. Just know that your body needs rest. You will go through several incarnations where, just don't get tired of, just don't give up on yourself. Make sure that you're consistent and give yourself the time. Don't worry if you find yourself at a place like a jail where you feel that things may get very stagnant, or they may just, you may feel that you're stuck. Nothing is moving, because that is the state where you are going to incarnate and go for this accession, which is going to come into existence from, again, you're going to find your spirit guide. Listen to the spirit guide, right? When you are awakening, when you're feeling stuck, pray to God, pray to your angels, pray to the divine. Be in this receptivity of the moon, this feminine energy of the receptivity. Listen more than speak. And so that is how you would be getting to the autumn. And the last card that we have here is the 10, which really was the last card here. So we're going to look into that as well. Just putting the cards back into the white order so we don't get any confused, regardless of the little table that I have. All right. So this is the 10. All right, I'm going to read out the message. Again, it is a metal. So we have like two metals over here. Until now we have the mercury, and now we have the tin. So tin is a silvery white, highly malleable metal. This is a part because tin's structure is composed of the crystals in cubic or tetragonal formations that can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure. When the crystalline structure breaks, a sound known as the tin cry can be heard. Hence the unnerving sound of crinkling tin foil. Such is the energy of the tin card. On one hand, it is the tin's Jupiterian nature to expand. Okay, so the tin, it talks about expansion here. Jupiterian nature to expand, to mobilize, to cover the whole territory. On the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much weight or pressure. When this card appears, you may have reached a limit of breaking point after taking on more than is logistically possible under the circumstances. Don't take this juncture personally. More strength is required, more before taking next steps to support the expansion you see in your mind's eye. So again, it's not going to be the end of things. You guys are still going to want to expand more and more. The tin is like, there will be crinkling sound, which is like, hey, you need to expand more. Because there's still, you guys may still feel, pressure, and there may be this deeper understanding, even after we go through this process. We may still feel the things that we need to change, the things that, the changes that we need to make on a higher realm, on this, everything. Like, let's say that you are somebody who is a part of the society, your work, your family, everything. And so when we talk about this shift, you may still feel like, okay, I need to really expand, not just in one area of my life, but this kind of change needs to show up in all of my in all of the areas of my life, which is eventually going to just put you up with that, okay, I need to expand, but then I know this expansion cannot be done with the pressure, because you have already gone through this. The pressure that we saw from the lower realm to moving to the higher realm, you already experienced a lot of pressure there. So going slow is something that will be needed. Like, okay, there means that there's still a lot of incarnation to happen. It's a journey, it's a process of, like, okay, shift after shift after shift. So it cannot be, it's not something that could be done overnight. So basically here we're talking about um, how we are going to transmute and ascend from a lower realm where there's a lot of competitions, um, feeling very stagnated at the jail, feeling like, okay, we've reached that dead end, and then rising to the point where there will be fun, there will be enjoyment, providing services to people, being kind and benevolent to them, communicating a lot with the Mercury, new ideas generating, like, okay, we're gonna make this change. People need to do this. There will be, like, we provide a better service, public services. Now, autumn is more about, the seasonal changes, accepting the change, like the old needs to go and the new needs to come. So that's basically the energy here. Alright, let me get some water. That was pretty intense. Through this reading, you may have an idea where you are right now. Which stage are you in? So let's say if you're still in that lower realm, going through excessive competitions, work, being all, burnt out, then you know where your path leads you, right? How you need to change, how you need to shift. So let's read the lake energy, which is the element, the main element here. The lake, and then we have the air. So the lake energy says, do not take the shallow alternative. Deep dive, do the research. Do the research. Do not cut corners. You may not be seeing the whole picture, so take your time with the decision. Again, go deep, because don't make a decision based on these shifts, right? No, just in case if you're here and if you're making the decision, okay, I'm done, I'm not worthy, I'm going to give up easily on the work that I put in. Don't be like that. Okay, don't rush into things. You may find yourself at a phase where you may feel that you're stagnant. You come to a dead end. Like, okay, I'm gonna break free from here. I'm gonna leave connection. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna, don't make decisions made out of a rush. Go deep. Go deep. All right. Give yourself the time to be patient, to go through these phases. That is the message here. With the air. Okay, let's read the air message. Okay. The message is, become apparent that your breath has been shallow and stilted of late, often to the point where you catch yourself holding your breath. Yes, I feel the same way. Like, I talked a lot. Like, just talking about it got me so drained out. And so imagine when you're going through the actual process, how burnt out you would be. Like, what's going to happen eventually is we're going to get into the state of receptivity. Listening more, talking less, right? Okay, so it says, the tension in your body is due to feeling overwhelmed with the earthly tasks. Yes, it's, I could feel this energy, to be honest, guys. Pause for a few moments. Focus your attention on your breath. Do some deep breathing. I think I would do that too. Meditation, that's where, remember, the intention for this meditational reading was to slow down, to meditate, to observe, to become prepared, to know that we have the power, we have the patience to go through each of these shifts. Notice the sensations that become apparent, such as the barely discernible breeze as it enters and exits through your nose or mouth. Be aware of the movement of your body, the muscles of your chest and abdomen that operate and practice unison to inhale and exhale this vital life force. Notice any areas of tension that allow that tension to slowly dissipate with each exhalation, with each exhalation. Regenerate your daily spiritual practice and incorporate conscious breathing as you do. So the element is rest with the lake. Do not make decisions out of a rush. And breathe. Breathe, because breathing is life force. Air is life force. Okay, that was a very, very intense reading. Let's look into some of the self-care messages as we go through each of these phases in our life, these shifts. And then we are going to slow down and we're going to meditate. All right. What are the self-care messages, Spirit? What are the self-care messages for all of us as we go through these shifts? What are the self-care messages, Spirit? How could we look after ourselves as we go through these shifts and these phases? All right, we have deep breathing. Again, deep breathing. So really, deep breathing, air, very important. Breathe. That's very, very important. So let's meditate. Let's connect with the energy of the lake. Let's meditate. Lake. Peaceful. Imagine this beautiful, beautiful, calm lake right in front of you. Close your eyes. Deep breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Releasing all the tension in your body. All the tension, all the frustration, all the overburden. All this overburden of heavy workload. Releasing. Consistency, cycle, work, starting, coming back, working. Cycle, an endless cycle that takes place. I gotta compete with this person and that person and do this and do that and da-da-da. Just breathe and relax. I know that life is feeling like an arena for you. It's competitions. You feel like you may be feeling like you're running in an endless marathon. You may be feeling as if, who is gonna win? Am I gonna win? I feel like I'm losing. I'm losing myself. I don't know how long can I go on like this. I don't know how long can I go on. I'm working and I'm stressful and I'm frustrated and I don't know if I'll ever get where I want. Will I ever reach the destination? Overload. Just breathe in. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Rest. The moon needs to release. The darkness is where we release what doesn't serve us. It's okay. The beliefs, the fears, negative beliefs, the fears that we may get caught up into. Just release. 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 Deep breathing. Calm down. Let it release. Yes, we could get through it. We are like the moon. We could get through the darkness, reach the light. We could become receptive. We don't always have to speak. We don't always have to have conflicted opinions. We could listen. We could listen to ourselves. Listen to our heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Let go. Let go of what doesn't serve us. Let go. Let go. Let go of those fears, those doubts. When you listen, when you get quiet, Spirit Guide appears. And Spirit Guide says, hey, don't worry. Don't worry. I know you've put in the work. I know that. I know that you've put in the work. You are going to be awarded. You are going to receive the gifts. You will see that it's all a process. It's all a process. Don't worry, my child. Don't worry. You're going to get through this. You will. I promise. You will. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. You may feel as if you've come to a dead end. This is the end. I don't know what to do. I've failed. I tried so hard. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. I'm stagnant. I am done. I don't know what I did to deserve this suffering. You may feel like you're suffering. You may feel like you have no clue of what is going on. You have no clue what is going on, because regardless of how hard you worked, you find yourself here. You find yourself in a jail. Not literally a jail, but a jail is more like this energy where you may feel that it's a prison. I need my justice. I've worked so hard. I need my justice. But am I being punished for something that I did? I need my justice, right? Your soul is going to cry. And that is when Spirit Guide would appear and will tell you, do not worry, have faith. It's all a process. It's all a process for you. It's all a process that you need to get through. Sublimation. Just raise your energy. Let go of your fear. Know that it's happening for you. It's not happening against you. It's happening for you. Your body needs rest. You need to love yourself. You need to release those doubts about yourself. That is when you will ascend. Look at that beautiful bird ascending. The air. Just breathe. Just breathe. Breathe. And you breathe, you bounce back. Your energy is returning back in your body. Breathe and ascend. And release. You are powerful. You are an unstoppable being. The reddening, yin and yang, the yin and the yang. You need a balance. You have now learned to balance yourself. Congratulations. Congratulations, you have learned to balance. To bring a balance, to bring a oneness. Look, everything is balanced now. You learned something beautiful here. You are a part of this entire process that was only trying to teach you to balance yourself, balance your own energy within, your masculine and your feminine. Balance is oneness. And then you would talk about it. Yes, we learned so many things. We have new ideas, dreams. We're going to do this. We can achieve anything with consistency, with balance. There's so much more. There is so much more that could be achieved with what you have learned. Just simply by process of breathing. Breathing. Just give gratitude to our breath. I give thanks. I send gratitude to my breath, my life force that enables me to get through difficult process and changes. I give gratitude to my breath and bring in the oneness, the balance. And then we have the change, the seasonal change, autumn, where the leaves, they fall, right? The newness comes into play. When the old is discarded, the new comes into play. That's the seasonal change. And this newness will lead us into the energy of the 10, expansion, the Jupiterian energy, learning to expand, learning to expand. Now we have shifted from the old. We have shifted from the old. And it's time to expand. I want to see this balance in all areas of my life. It must not be limited to one area. We want this expansion everywhere, in relationships, in workplaces, in our body, the way we treat ourselves, everywhere. And that's when you will know that, okay, we cannot take a lot of pressure. Because remember the lesson, the process of learning that each of these shifts, we need to get slow and breathe. Learn to breathe, learn to go slow. With the energy of the lake, not rush, not jump into conclusions. Go slow, slow, slow down. Repeat the affirmation. We slow down. And we breathe. We release. I hope you like this session. Let me know if this was helpful to you. For those of you watching, lots of love and blessings from Spirit Guide. Alright, just don't forget to breathe.